Alright, Dave, now, you and I are both fairly obsessed with Critical Role, and I know you said not to go too far with this kind of thing,
yeah,
but...
I kind of said not too far with everything, but...
I got a Critical Role tattoo. Well, now it's... Okay, I drew it on. Well, the needles look really sharp!
They weren't sharp, it was just a pen. And I drew it on.
I'm covered in your spit. Hello, and welcome to the D20 Multiverse, with myself, Oliver, on NPCs of Wildemount, and Dave.
On NPCs in Wildemount too!
Okay, that was a weird order that I did.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're from that show and I'm not. I'm just on the side.
Stop getting texts.
I'm sorry.
So unprofessional. We're here reviewing Critical Role 2, episode 13, which was called...
what was the official title?
I didn't see it. I don't know. That's
well, we don't really... Because they changed the title from when it is on... Twitch to when it... I don't think they do it on Twitch anymore. They actually don't put a official title. But once it's actually live on YouTube, and we try to record these before it's on YouTube.
Yes.
But we don't release the video until it's on YouTube.
No, we like to record them early, so if there's time for editing that we need, we can do that.
Yeah.
So this actually has been my favourite episode from the new campaign.
I would say it is.
Top-notch.
It was pretty up there for me.
Yeah, it was amazing. There is slightly more shopping in this at the end,
but we should do a correction. Last time we kind of argued what actually happened at the end, and it was like a combination of both of our version of events. So they did go into the sewer, like you said, but they did encounter a guy, like I said.
Yeah. So weirdly, we were both kind of right.
You combine what we're saying. That's the point of the show.
Yeah,
combine the two things, you get an iffy story.
Either of us alone makes very little sense in terms of what is right.
That's why we have a YouTube channel together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, the Zoba Spire in the halls of Erudition has been attacked and is collapsing. They run into the sewers, and that's where they meet Dark Sketchy Guy.
Who's an elf.
An elf?
I think he's a half elf because it could have been a full elf if they don't really go into. Yeah. To specifics. All we know is that at one time Matt looked at the player's handbook for a racial trait that an elf may have, but you can also just get a full elf in that player's handbook, so it could be either.
And he's dark, he's sketchy, he looks kind of powerful, and the episode starts with roll initiative, essentially. So they were following a trail of blood that led to this guy. The fact that he's in a sewer and kind of hooded and kind of came at them, they kind of go...
I think it's pretty clear he's an Ninja Turtle.
Exactly. What?
You said exactly. See, I got it on camera. This is Ollie agreeing with anything.
Improvise a background.
You said exactly before I even finished what I was saying.
Exactly. Anyway,
I'm a genius. Oh damn! Didn't happen.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Anyway, so this guy's tough. Is the first thing they figure out when a 16 doesn't hit.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I don't know how high this armor class guy is. Quite often with a high armor class, it's you've got a high AC, high hit points, and low damage.
He didn't have high hit points, though.
No, he didn't.
I think it was hard to hit him, but when they did hit him, they managed to take him down. Which
means, if I was a player and Matt said he's got an AC of above 16, and now after 2 attacks he's looking ragged, I'd be thinking to myself, okay, I'm getting out of the way when this guy does
I feel like
attack.
they were going to run, because I thought it was going to be like the Null situation, where they just get messed up and they encounter the dude later on.
Yeah.
But they managed to kind of restrain him and take him down, because throughout the battle they were kind of working out, what should we do? Should we capture him or should we gut him?
So they're using their 6 seconds of free action to speak to each other and go, do we kill him? What do we do? Maybe this guy has information. So they start doing, halfway through the battle, they start declaring non-lethal damage. Yeah, which is cool. And eventually they knock this guy down.
And Molly gets it. Molly gets the how you want to do this.
Even though it's non-lethal, he still gets the how do you want to do this. Yes. And this guy also had, he's a mage, clearly, because he's got darkness spells and stuff that he's been throwing. And Bo falls during the battle too. She does, and they actually don't get to her until after combat. Someone rushes up to her. But she was alright, it's all good. I can't wait to do some bow artwork. I've been working on Caleb this week. Have you done a picture? Yeah, it's
you've done a picture?
It's going to come up.
It's going to come up.
Yeah. And I also went out and bought a scanner, so I can scan this in.
Wow, it's getting professional here at NPCs.
Yeah, I don't know, high-level productions.
Yeah. So basically they stripped the guy of all of his stuff, because that's what you do.
Was that necessary? Mighty Nein?
He was so powerful, would you?
I would at least leave his pants on for some kind of dignity.
Well, yeah, that's weird.
apparently wanting to not see people's junk in a sewer. makes me sound weird. But they find a
I mean, if you're in a sewer and you see someone's junk, you're not going to be put off. You're in a sewer already. There's I mean, you've got other problems to deal with than just a naked person in a sewer.
There's a whole world out there on the surface once you get out of the sewers where you can dance around.
Ninja Turtles are always naked.
Have candy. Stop bringing up Ninja Turtles.
We're in a sewer. And plus, on Sam Regal's drinking thing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Tortles.
Which is a hilarious D&D pun. We would expect no less from you, Sam Regal. Yeah. I also, at some point, have gaps in my notes because I noticed how pregnant Laura is. She's way out here. Oh my god, that's so awesome.
You're easily distracted by pregnant women, aren't
you? Hey, look!
It's like, oh,
it's a Billabong.
Yeah, we've got a random pregnant person in our lounge.
She's just been sitting there eating chips for 3 days. Hey, we can see you. Maybe you should call the cops. She's been there for a while.
No, she can't leave.
That sounds so dark. No. Is that what the medical is for?
No.
She's blinking at me in Morse code.
Stop it. There's no one there.
They knock this guy down, they tie him up, they find 116 platinum.
A lot of money.
Yeah, each platinum is worth 10 gold, so that's like, whoa. In my world it's 100, but in this world it's 10 gold. That's a lot of cash for a level 4 party.
And they find a dodecahedron.
Yeah.
Caleb finds a
dodecahedron.
Dodecahedron.
I'm so proud of you for getting that.
Dodecahedron. And that's the
more
house
pregnant women upstairs.
With it.
Now, essentially, they bring him to and start asking him a couple of questions, and he's not giving up the information. So Molly casts Devil Tongue.
Yeah, but this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So they do a bit of interrogation if we find out whether to let him go or not.
Yeah.
And then Ford and Molly both get whispers from Matt after a kind of what was it called? Perception. Insight check. And all of a sudden, their attitude changes to we should let them go.
Yeah, and essentially they start asking him, why are you here? Who are you working for? With the angle of we're not here to hurt you. We could be allies. Just tell us.
So we didn't really get what they got told.
Yeah.
All we know is all of a sudden their kind of attitude towards the guy changed. So it feels like they were on. They got the impression that this guy's on their side.
Exactly. Then Molly uses Devil's Tongue, which I think is kind of like, that's kind of his main spell for the last couple of episodes. I think Detect Magic is probably Caleb's.
It's a good way of getting information.
The Message Cantrip would be Knott's. Jester's Spiritual Weapon, Ford's...
Ford?
Hexblade stuff?
Hexblade,
all this Hexblade stuff, I suppose, is kind of... anyway, so they bring this guy too, and they ask him stuff like, what happened to the beacon, this weird orb thing, this powerful artifact, what happened to it, where is it? And they find out that he's got it on him.
Yeah, that's the dodecahedron, right?
Yeah, the dodecahedron, which is like a small...
I'm just proud I can say that.
So it's a platonic solid, I do believe. Now, Caleb uses Detect Magic on this, and he doesn't get too much except for the fact that it's very powerful. So he kind of goes, okay, well, we have to do something with this.
Yeah, but they kind of have a bit of argument whether they should keep it or not. They end up giving it back to the guy.
Yeah.
And they let him go also.
His name is Thuran, by the way. Thuran.
However, that like all good plans that this team comes up with, fails miserably.
Of course.
Because the Crown's Guard end up catching him and killing him and taking the dodecahedron.
So essentially, like, information we need that they got from this guy. The Dodalian Empire, where they currently are, is at war with his empire, the guy they found, who's been sent here by his empress. Empress... Milascream. Milascream?
I didn't write it down.
Empress Milascream.
Because me and names... I can barely say mine.
Bo wants to take him to Cobalt Soul and let them deal with him. But essentially, the Duras to the east and the Dodalian Empire are at war, essentially. That's important. I feel like that's going to come back, so I thought I'd just mention that.
And it does start to feel like the Empire that we're currently in is the kind of the bad guys. Yeah. It's getting that impression.
I am with you on that. I think that we will be rooting for Duras instead. But...
rooting. Laura will be proud.
Rooting. That's such a Kiwi phrase as well. I don't know if other people use rooting.
Rooting over here, so R-O-O-T-I-N-G.
Having sex.
As sex. Yeah. It's rooting like
something that we've never done. I'm sorry. Oh, man,
why do you have to make it real? Why do you have to bring it down to that level?
We're nerds. We run a D&D YouTube channel.
Nerds get laid too. I want that on a t-shirt. Nerds get laid too.
And then maybe just a picture of Laura and Travis and Laura.
Yeah. It's like proof. This is the one proof that we have.
Yeah. We could just use that in the critter community. Like anyone could have, he's such a nerd. It's like, yeah, well, we get laid. Check it out. Our God, she's been laid. Or rooted, as we say.
You imagine like meeting Laura is like, oh, you're proof that you got laid.
Maybe I shouldn't tweet that. I did send a tweet yesterday.
I saw it today.
I just said congratulations to them, but I didn't put good. You got
Check out our Twitter for that tweet.
Or don't. It's mainly just me.
And tweet at Laura, nerds get laid.
You're proof that nerds get laid. Hashtag. Anyway, essentially they go, alright, this guy is kind of on our side, give him back the stuff, give him back the orb, give him back some of his clothes, we want to take some to, I imagine,
they keep the money as well.
Yeah, 112 platinum, well, they're going to do that. We've talked about on this channel how a lot of their motivation at this point for individual characters is money. Because, apart say from Jester, they all kind of come from rags. Anyway, they send him off, and that's when they start hearing him being captured, as you said. Oh crap, damn, that was a bad plan.
And they kill him, so obviously that didn't last for very long. So now the party decides, okay, we need to get this item back.
Yep.
And that's when the next mission kicks off.
That's basically a mini quest there.
Yeah. So they basically get the item. It's not huge dramas getting it.
No,
but,
they trip some people and that kind
Jester feigns. Bo also does drug bust during this.
Yep.
It scares some kids off from Spice.
Some teenagers, don't spice.
This episode on the side.
Stay in the academy, don't spice.
Now we're talking about Spice because that's a throwback to the last one. I think this episode was the most references to the old campaign. Especially at the end.
Yeah, that thing at the end I've got no, so you can see there. First reference, like first solid
I think Spice is a close reference, but I mean that's really just drug. That's another word for drug. So
so Bo kind of says stay in school, or stay in the academy, as I thought would be funny.
Stay in school, kids.
But anyway, they trick these guys.
And take drugs.
They don't. You'll end up like him. Anyway, they essentially get this all back. They feign that, we were just in the sewers hiding because the tower collapsed. We didn't know anything about what's going on.
And they managed to get the dodecahedron back.
You did it! That was perfect.
I know, I'm on a streak right now, so I'm going nuts with it.
Literally all the girl fans watching us totally want to read.
Every time I say it right, there's some background noise that occurs.
To drown it out,
it's like, no!
It's this global conspiracy to keep Dave from saying anything. And some of the guys
so basically they try and decide what to do next, and they decide to kind of split the party. So Ford and Bo go to the Song and Supper to actually find Dolan. And the rest of the party goes to the Leaky Tap again.
Right. So these are becoming staples in the diet of things that Mighty Nein do. Now, Dolan's house I think we'll go to first because that's what happened first. He learns that Ulag is dead after...
It's Ulag.
Are you sure?
Yep, I looked it up on the Critical Role wiki.
Well, Ulag, alright.
It's Ulag.
I've been hearing Ulag, but I got cheese my ears.
Because that's something I was watching the episode for. I was going, is it Alag? But they kept on saying log, so I looked it up, and there's log.
I think it's just the fact that it's American accents, and I'm used to Kiwi accents. Oh, I've been working on my Pumat Soul.
Oh, we'll bring it up once we get to it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I spent like 20 minutes in the shower this morning working on my Pumat Soul. Anyway, I saw that. Anyway, they go to Dolan's house. He learns that Ulag is dead, and he's kind of heartbroken by this. Mighty Nein have kind of said in this encounter as well that they are going to try and avenge Ulag's wife. They do care about that plot, even though Ulag is no longer around. So
because basically Ulag's wife was being used by the High Richter as an example. And pretty much it was, to the High Richter's kind of point of view, she was just using her as an example to put their own kind of staple on things and just to prove a point. So it kind of felt like Ulag's wife didn't actually mean much to her. And she was just getting rid of it. So, it makes sense.
So Mighty Nein will avenge Ulag's wife, who I don't think we have a name for yet. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Ulag's wife. That's what
now they start freaking out because they realise, the High Richter's death might be traced back to us because Ulag was a member of the Knights of Requital. What if it comes back to us? And Dolan starts freaking out. He's like, "Oh my god, we have to leave the city. We got to get out of here. They're going to find us."
There's a little bit of paranoia seeking in. So basically, the conclusion they come to, Dolan decides to stay there, just keep down. If it does go to crap, he's able to take the blame and not have the blame go on his son. Horus. It's Horus.
Horus. Yeah.
Horus. I kind of thought it was like the Egyptian god kind of.
Oh yeah, Horus. Anubis.
Yeah. Well, no, Anubis. It's the Horus is another god.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. I just don't know why you said Anubis.
I like Anubis.
Okay. So Horus kind of they basically become a plan with Horus to get out as well. So Horus decides to go with Ford and Bo and basically they begin a plot to get rid of them, really, and get them to hide somewhere.
Meanwhile, the rest of the party is talking about the powerful item that has a lot of arcana, and some of you that are D&D knowledgeable people... That's nearly a sentence. Will know that if you are to put something like a bag of holding into a bag of holding, it creates a black hole because infinite recursion, laws of nature, physics entanglement, string theory kind of stuff. So they're really worried about putting this dodecahedron into the bag of holding, and they can see that it's glowing through cloth when you wrap it up. So they decide they need a lead box.
Because they haven't figured out what it is as well.
And they have no idea.
Yeah.
So they just know it's really powerful because Caleb used detect magic. That's the main thing that he got.
Yeah. So basically, until they kind of figure out what this thing is, they decide to get a lead box. By this point, Bo and Ford have come back to the leaky tap, so they're all at the leaky tap. And Jester talks to Claudia, who's the owner of the pub.
I've written Jester bothers Claudia.
I put Jester invades personal space.
There we go. So essentially, she goes and keeps going, "Are you having sex in there?" And the kind of thing. While Claudia's like, "No, I'm not. I'm just busy." And she's like, "Are you sure it's not sex?" It's like, "Yes, I'm sure."
Because Jester knew something was up.
Yeah.
By
the way, they were talking.
So by the end of it, Jester's able to persuade Claudia to find out information that Claudia is actually trying to sell because she was actually part of the Knights of Requital. Requital. With a 21
deception check, she manages to get that. She also gets the box. Alright, so now we've got a lead box for this powerful
And we find out that Claudia's involved too.
Yep. Then, essentially, we learn that Not is an alchemist. I don't know if this has come up before, but it's the first time that I've written it down, so it's the first time that it exists in my head. Not is an alchemist, because Matt said to him, well, you would know what lead is like. You would be able to tell lead because you're an alchemist.
And it kind of makes sense, the road dealing with poisons and stuff, and the poison that we've seen in the past, of not always kind of preparing poisons and so forth. Kind of fits the character.
Then there's a bit of trade going on with some items. Taliesin gets these spiky kind of gothic boots, which, hey, pretty suitable for Taliesin. Then we get Molly, talking seriously to Not. And there's a really cool little character moment where they're talking about trust.
Yeah, I think Bo is equal parts in this conversation as well.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Bo has... basically, this is a very good and growth moment for the party as a whole. Because you got Not... them... kind of talking down to Not, but then realising that Not's actually the one looking after Caleb.
Yeah,
and not the other way around.
This scene was one of the main reasons that this is my favourite episode of Critical Role 2 so far, because there was some really cool interactions, and essentially the lines that really kind of broke my heart were, I'm the parent, Not says. I keep him safe.
But it also reveals that Not's goal is to make Caleb as powerful as possible.
Yep.
Which is why he was stealing, she was stealing the note to get him into the school.
Yep.
Why she always, because I think of Sam all the time.
Yep.
She is trying to steal the stuff, all these scrolls and all these things for Caleb. So whether there's some kind of deeper meaning of why Not wants Caleb so powerful, or is it actually just a nurturing thing that Not just wants Caleb to just be able to look after himself to get so powerful, to become less broken.
Well, one of our theories was for he not just wanted Caleb to get powerful, so Caleb could transfigure Not, so she's not a goblin anymore. But it seems like there's a bit more to that now. We also find that Not found Caleb originally in a jail cell. There's a little bit of backstory there, which is quite interesting. The chat kind of started going, "Oh my god, backstory," as this was going on,
and it kind of throws me back to, coincidentally, the Terry and Darriton bit of it. You know, when they're doing the initiation for him.
Sure.
And they're kind of beating him up, and then they find out he's got daddy issues, and all of them are like, "Oh, okay, we accept you." This felt like that, is the fact that once they realised Not's intentions and true intentions, the rest of the party were just like, "Oh, okay, we get it."
Yeah. Although I still think they're not 100% trustful of any of them of each other.
No, but I think they get it. They kind of understand Not a little bit better, especially Bo and Ford.
I think we, as people, understand Not better as well.
Yeah. People.
So, well, close approximations to people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just 90% ego and 10% caffeine.
So basically, Not's able to convince the party of everything's happened and managed to get a few things back, including the scroll that they had that disagreement. Ford and Caleb had that little disagreement back at the High Richter's place.
Yep.
But to get those scrolls, he goes back to Caleb and gives them over the scrolls.
And Caleb detects magic, and he gets given item cards by Matt.
Identifies all the loot they managed to find.
Now, detect magic is very much, I think, Caleb Caleb's staple spell, along with his familiar stuff, Frumpkin. I think this is what he uses the most. It's kind of his multi-purpose Swiss Army knife kind of thing for situations. And he gets some papers and he freaks out. He gets really, really happy. And we're like, what did you get? What did you get? What did you get? And he's like, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it was something he's been trying to get for a while. So it'll be interesting to see that coming up. Not and Caleb also have a deeper meaningful after that. So it really feels like the party has grown as characters more than the storyline, to be honest.
There is some wonderful roleplay in this episode. Some of my favourite of all of Mighty Nein.
And because of that, it leveled to level 4.
Yes, milestone leveling. Boom, 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 level 4. Now, anyway,
do you even know what you were dancing to?
No.
Is this really your dance move?
Yeah, do the car, pull to the left, pull to the right. Oh no, there's some sweet honeys over there. All right.
It just feels like you're like holding something like a window cleaner.
Yeah, watch the window. Oh no, I missed a spot. Oh no, it's over there. This is why we
don't go clubbing together.
This is why I don't go clubbing at all at any point.
Anyway,
nerds do get laid. Anyway, Not kind of says to Caleb. When Caleb says he's already tried to get into the academy and failed, he kind of says to Not, well, let's start our own academy. We'll figure this stuff out on our own. And our own academy? He's like, yeah.
And it kind of feels like Forward's also not really going to the academy route as well. So that they're going to we're not going to be sidetracked with a school kind of bit. So we're going to go right into just the story, and we're not going to go near that. So it seems like this is like the end of the discussion. And
then everyone leaves the room except for Caleb.
Caleb's solo session.
Yes. All right. Now, so far, Caleb to me has been the most intriguing out of all the party members. He's the one I really want to know the backstory.
He's not a werewolf.
The most. Caleb Watch failed, unfortunately.
No, he's not a werewolf.
But the vision that he gets is really, really cool. This kind of like weird Machiavellian, Pavlovian, Pavlova crystal current.
I think the question I have with this whole episode that happened is it got to do with the item, or has it got to do with Caleb?
Well, okay, here's my theory. Basically, he sees a grey light, which Matt tells him is familiar. I don't know what that means yet. Could be important, could just be some pointless thing. Then he sees 1,000 different Calebs, himself, in different clothes, looking differently. Now, to me, as the philosopher, this is alternate timeline kind of stuff.
It feels like Bioshock Infinite.
Yep, or you could say Marvel universes, DC universes.
Yeah.
So it looks like Caleb was allowed a glimpse at all the possibilities that he could have been, signifying, I believe, that crossroads is approaching. There's soon going to be some moment that his decision will solidify him or decide his future.
Why?
We don't know. Because that's where the vision pretty much
why
ends.
did he get this vision?
Well, in the vision, he also had the object. He looks down
exactly, so that's why I think the object's evolved.
Yeah.
But I can't work out whether, because if there was a divine influence in this.
What about, here's another wild theory with no basis in reality. Because he's
just like everything.
Yeah, everything I say. Basically, because he's seen a whole bunch of different Calebs, and because one of his quests is to get Not no longer being a goblin, maybe he can use this orb to reach into another reality and bring back a Not or have Not in a way that Not never was a goblin, you know?
So you still under the assumption that Not was something else to begin with?
Kind of.
I think Not's always been I think Not's always been a goblin.
I think a wizard got ticked off and cursed.
Why?
Because she stole his pocket watch.
But I mean, why can't she just be a goblin?
I mean, that's possible too.
It's like you would never choose openly to be a goblin.
I never take the most logical sound reason for things.
Don't be racist. Maybe it's goblins are just goblins.
Yeah. It's possible. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's when he wakes up. In level 4, alright, cool.
Yeah, level 4, they roll for hit points. I think this is one of the first times we ever seen it on camera.
It is actually, Matt says, it's the first time they've ever done that on camera. They roll pretty well.
They roll pretty well.
If you've ever seen my parties roll hit points, man.
Bad.
2s, 3s, and 1s.
And then the last hour of the episode is really shopping.
Yeah.
Shopping.
More shopping. Hey, guys, I understand. You need your items and stuff.
So we visit the Aussie/Kiwi again, the smithy.
Yeah.
It's an Aussie.
Yeah.
It's not a Kiwi accent.
It's definitely Australian.
It's a definitely Australian accent. And I know Matt Watt says it's a hybrid. You're using Australian phrases and you sound Australian. It can't be Kiwi.
Yeah. If you took an Australian...
If he just needed to just say Sheila, and that would have been it.
Anyway, his name is Yannick, by the way, the Australian halfling. And essentially they commission a lead box and say, well, we're wealthy now, we got 112 platinum, we'll just pay you to do it faster and all this kind of stuff. Then they go back to the Invulnerable Vagrant, the wonderful shop run by Pumat Sol, because Bo has never met him in character, so that's awesome.
So, alright, the moment you've all been waiting for it. What's the accent? You say something while I look up the question of the episode.
Okay,
because we haven't done that.
Now, I've been working on this, but it's been a couple of hours since I attempted it, so give me like 10 seconds to drop into character.
You got 10... No, 10 seconds is a long
Well, I think it seems like you guys are here to do some shopping, and I think that's a fantastic thing.
You got the American/Canadian twang on it.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to do.
I'm close, and I'll also, I will also, while he's doing that, unveil my my artwork of the week. Now, I said that if you haven't seen this before, I've decided to do one Critical Role drawing a week while I'm watching this for our channel.
We do apologise.
Yep, because I'm trying to level up my drawing skill. I'm not very good at it, and I want to get better, so I'm going to do one a week. And this week it's Caleb in a wonderful moment when he was in the basement talking to a skull. And I bought a scanner so I can do this. I know you're going to edit this, and you're going to edit it so it doesn't do it on the click. You're going to do it...
Well, have you sent me the image?
Not yet, because I haven't scanned it yet.
You've literally got a day to do it.
I can do it when I get... I literally finished this like 20 minutes ago. That's what it looks like there, in person.
I'll put it up if you send it to me. If he hasn't sent it me,
you won't see it.
It will be a badly photoshopped picture of you on a rhino.
I 100% believe that that's exactly what he would do.
I've already done that. I was used for a past episode that I never actually put in.
It's so concerning the things you do alone in your room.
Hey!
I just imagine nipple clamps and like a huge bottle of essential oils.
Nipple clamps.
Yeah, just like tightening them, hooking them up to a
I like how you went from me photoshopping you on a rhino to apparently nipple clamps. I don't understand how that transition's happened.
Yeah.
That's a huge stretch.
I just imagine you've just photoshopped my beard on
anyway, continue what happened in the episode while I find this.
You do creepy things. Anyway, he also... this is when we find Pumat Sol, what Pumat Sol is reading. He's reading The Daring Tales of Tyrion Darrington. Yes! First, like, really official... one of the first
the Daring Trials and Tribulations of Tyrion Darrington.
That's it. That's the whole title. Woo! We got like a full-on reference. Alright, that was awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've had a proper old campaign reference. Other than certain phrases and certain, like, history of Tal'Dorei kind of things like the what's that? What's a big event that happens ages ago?
Not the White Staff, that's my word. The Wintercrest.
No, the Wintercrest. Just the
Calamity.
Calamity, yes. So we got references of Calamity.
Which, by the way, I'll just mention, if you get the Tal'Dorei campaign setting book, it's got a whole bit about the Calamity, and you can learn more about it. It's really, really interesting. Highly recommend.
Yeah. So it was a really awesome reference. You could see Sam's doing it. Yeah. Sam's delight when it happened and like grabbing Laura. It was just a really cool reference.
Yeah,
you know?
And the chat again went absolutely crazy over that.
And it feels like we're now reached the point where it's kind of established they're going to allow those little nuggets to slip through. I think.
I also feel at this point we're kind of more onto the par of the Vox Machina adventures. With the Mighty Nein, we kind of have the characters now that we care about, the backstories are coming out, the quests are there, they've got intentions, the world is kind of fleshed out. So
and the players know their characters.
Yes, yeah. Oh man, the way that they know their spells, you can tell that they've been studying this stuff, which makes sense, they've got a huge internet show.
Yeah, and so when they're hitting these little achievement marks or when they get something, it matters even more now.
Yeah, it's really, really...
I mean, what 13th episode?
Yep.
So we've been doing this for 13 weeks, so it's a couple of months.
Yep, and I honestly think it's just hitting its stride now. Mighty Nein are becoming as iconic as Vox Machina was.
Yeah, so basically they decided, after a bit of discussion of what to do next, they decided to go to the evening nip.
Yep.
Which is where the gentleman is, and they try and find Kara. So they go to basically to the evening nip.
Yep.
They meet that dwarven fellow bartender guy. Mm-hmm. They say the code phrase. Do you remember the code phrase?
Yes. We have many gifts, or something along that.
Yeah, we have many gifts.
And then he goes, okay, and leads them into the back room. Hey Jason, how's it going?
Yeah, just my flatmate.
Just want to come hang out on the camera?
Continue.
Anyway, that's when they find this Tabaxi, who, oh god, Xanatar's follows
so this reminds me of John Wick. You know how they got that... Have you seen John Wick? No. Okay. So basically, they've got the hotel, and they've got this like underground kind of club, and you have to be exclusive to get there. And this kind of felt like that. So this was an underground exclusive club, and the Black Tabaxi.
Recognizes Molly and says, "Lucian, it's been ages."
I thought Lucian.
Lucian, yeah.
Lucian.
And the party freaks out because Matt goes, "That's where we'll pick up next week."
Yeah.
And again the chat and the party just went, "What? How many names do you have? What's going on? Backstory."
Yeah. Everyone lies.
Yes. So apparently Molly, used to go by Lucian. Maybe Lucian now goes by Molly. We don't know.
Who knows?
But this Tabaxi certainly does. So go and talk to the Tabaxi.
And it was a cool description, like a very unexpected kind of character to meet. A Black Tabaxi in an underground, club.
100,000 points to Matt.
He had the plan for a while. He must have had that nugget for a while because they've been planning to go there and say that code phrase for a number of sessions ever since they heard it. Yeah. So Matt's probably had that in his head, and
got to use it. All right, and that's the episode for this week, man. My favourite out of all of the Mighty Nein episodes so far. Mighty Nein 13 episodes. Loved it. Character moments, bit of combat to kick things off, and honestly, I actually like it when combat's at the start. Because when it's later on in the episode, I'm fading and I have to go make coffees and stuff, and I kind of lose.
You get distracted by pregnant women,
Yeah, exactly. But with nipple clamps on.
But I would say MVP for this one.
Yep.
Because of the character moments, I would say Bo, Not, and Molly.
Okay.
It's a combined one mainly because of if it went for them, we wouldn't have got those really good deep moments, and also the end bit as well.
Fantastic. So our MVPs of the week are Molly, Not, and Bo.
Yes, there we go. Now we're at that part of the episode where you guys have put comments down, and we will comment on them.
Yeah.
So, yes. This one is from Bernice Summerfield.
Hi, Bernice.
And I picked this one. Ollie doesn't know.
I've not seen it.
All right. So this has actually got to do with our discussion last week about how we said Matt was going to nominate one person to roll. So Bernice says, Matt usually does group checks for stealth. What he was talking about in the beginning of the campaign is that if a player does something like looking for tracks or searching a room and fails, he doesn't want to have the whole party trying one after another until someone succeeds.
Yeah.
But rather have the first player get advantage if another player helps. And I think that happened in this episode too, where they all wanted to do something, but only 2 people got nominated to roll.
Exactly. Now, but this is essentially because if you have a moment where someone fails a check and everyone says, "Can we try?" what you're essentially doing is rolling that check with like 5 times advantage.
Yeah.
Which is just unfair, it unbalances it. So I actually think this is a great thing that DMs should be doing.
Yeah, and it's all about the control as well. I know knowing when to ask for that, because you can't do it every single time. Because if half the party's there, having 3 people roll isn't too bad. But if they're saying a whole group of people stealth in together, you may, depending on what the makeup of the party is, if they're all relatively similar in skill, probably just get one of them to roll.
Also, remember, as set out in the DM's guide and even on the DM's screens that you can get for 5th Ed, you've got the DM setting the difficulty challenge rating for each check. So you could still roll a 20 and have it fail if the thing that they're rolling for is extremely difficult, has a DC of like 30 or 25. So if 2 people go, "I'm going to search the room," and get a 19 between them, if the thing they're looking for is really well hidden and the DM knows that, it could still fail.
Yeah. So yeah.
But anyway, that's us. We really have fun bringing you these. Thank you, Bernice. I think you're the best person in the world, and I love you because you sent a comment, and we chose it.
He loves everybody. Don't worry, Bernice.
It's true. It's all the coffee.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I mean, just love everyone. Anyway, well, thanks for everyone for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Remember, comment below so we can use it next week, and make sure you start a discussion because it's all good. And remember to send your congratulation tweets to Ashley. To Laura. And she's pregnant too, apparently now. She's the one that's in the manacles. And just to give you guys a heads up of what we're planning, this Friday we're actually releasing his quest to find critters at a New Zealand convention. So essentially it's Armageddon Expo, which is our Comic-Con, except without the money behind it. And the Comic-Con?
I saw Ginny Weasley at this place. She was there signing autographs.
I've been on about
and she looked at me. We locked eyes. Ginny Weasley has seen me in person, and I know it was as exciting for her as it was for me. And she was eating an apple, and I was like, "Oh my god, I eat apples!"
Can you imagine if one of the Critical Role people actually reached out to him?
My head.
To me, I'm nonchalant about it. I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Awesome. You're just a human being.
He's like,
you're just like. I steal you.
he sent me a thing that said, "Oh, Matt Koval retweeted us," and I didn't.
Twice. He's done it twice now.
I didn't stop bouncing for 3 weeks, and people were like, "What's up?" I was like,
just in the Facebook chat after that.
Amazing.
But also because this is actually a 1-year anniversary this week. So we're doing a special once-off podcast.
Yeah.
If you guys like it, we'll maybe make some more. But stay tuned to that, where you hear us a little bit more unfiltered and just talking about things.
If you thought this was weird, you've got nothing on the podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us on NPCs of Wildemount. Remember to check out the rest of our content and have a good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. And remember, nerds get laid.